haunt you guys as Blackwood's ghost. So every now and then I'm just gonna be like, hey, you guys have any spiders? Remember when you left me in the windmill? Remember when you didn't even talk about me when I was gone? You just moved the fuck on. Haunt, haunt, haunt. That's all I do.
All right.
All right.
There's your recap.
All right.
Blackwind is now ghost.
I'm now a ghost.
All right. So, last session, we picked up with the party rather beat and exhausted as they had just barely escaped with most of their lives. They had just fled the bizarre windmill and were a bit banged up. They did not want to stop and rest, having not yet put enough ground between them and those nasty old witches. As they hurried along the road towards the next town, Deckard took a moment to try to explain his condition, but seemed to be talking a bit crazy, the others thought. Maybe he was still a bit confused. Thoradin helped heal him up a bit, and as the group raced away and noticed that Blackwind was missing, Thoradin broke the bad news to the others of his demise inside the windmill. A few minutes later, Irina suddenly froze up and gasped while she pointed at a tree some 40 feet down the road. Up in that tree, Alaric noticed a man sitting on a branch, dangling his foot and sipping from a large goblet. Alaric, seeing this, being the protective one that he is, raced ahead of the pack to get between them and this strange figure. Now a bit closer, he and Spargle both realized that it was Count Strahd. Smirking, he seemed to be taunting the group and making light of Blackwind's fate. He warned them that the townsfolk of Vallaki were terrible people who likely would not welcome a group of strangers and that they shouldn't go there. He recommended that they go back the way they came, that maybe the village of Barovia was where they belonged, or at least Ismark certainly does, now being the next in line for Burgomaster. Then Thoradin noticed first, but as everyone kind of focused their eyes in the darkness and in the woods, they noticed that there were dozens of eyeless zombies silently flanking them on both sides. However, as their options seemed to be dwindling, Strahd said it would be ungentlemanlike to attack such a beautiful woman's traveling companions, referring to Irina, who he had barely broke his stare from this entire time. True to his word, Strahd let the gang march past his horde of zombies. He then popped into the form of a bat and flew away, as his undead silently turned and disappeared into the deep woods without a trace. Thoradin, for good measure, mooned the zombie army, once they were safely out of gnashing distance. It was now nearing dawn, about 5 a.m. or so. As they hurried away, Deckard shifted back into his normal form. Unexpectedly, and with a sharp yelp, Spargle suddenly flew off the back of Holyfield, Thoradin's war ram, landing hard in the dirt. Stretching his hands upwards, Spargle now held chunks of fur and flesh, which had ripped loose with little force. Thoradin, being able to converse with his beast, checked in with him briefly, who responded that he felt fine. But seeing the ram's eyes cloud, he took a quick breath and without any hesitation decapitated it, abruptly ending this gruesome transformation. Irina gasped in horror, but seemed to comprehend what was happening and bowed her head in sorrow. As a tribute, Spargo used prestidigitation to create a small illusion of an angelic war ram floating upwards towards the heavens, which was more than anyone did for Blackwind, I wanted to just point out. Now, partially on foot and mount, they traveled further along the road, eventually reaching...
Thank you. Sorry, just thank you for that. I just wanted somebody to fucking... Sorry. No, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
Now, partially on foot and mount, they traveled further along the road, eventually reaching a branch where a trail led towards a large lake that they'd been heading towards. They decided to check it out. The water looked clear, the beach was clean. They chose this spot for a place to take a rest before they completed their march towards Vallaki, which should now only be a few miles away. However, as they were setting up camp, Spargle noticed a shadowy mass floating in the water near the shore. So he snuck ahead to check it out as the group started unpacking. When Spargle returned, he reported that the shapes were several decapitated wolves that had been tied together and tossed in the water. For a moment, they still considered a camp here. However, Deckard could not stomach the smell of the dead wolves. He was nearly convulsing. So everyone else agreed they should move a bit further down the road before settling in. Deckard found a suitable spot a few feet into the trees. With careful preparations, lookouts, and an alarm spell, the party was granted a rare, uninterrupted sleep. They woke around 11 a.m. to a relatively warm, bright morning by Barovian standards. Deckard shaved his stubble with a knife as the others gathered up camp. They then followed a sturdy road that tracked the edge of the lake and were certain they were getting close to the town. They noticed many well-made signs posted along the road that seemed to confirm the town of Vallaki was ahead. As they followed the trail of these signs further, a grand, sturdy-looking burg emerged as they walked up to the gates of Vallaki, now around noon. My audio and video been okay, Adam?
Pretty good.
Cutting out or choppy at all?
You're fine. It was a tad bit choppy before, but you're fine now.
Okay. All right. And just as a reminder, so here's what you kind of saw walking up to the city. The old Svalich Road meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain burg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirty road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. The gates were closed, and the guards shouted out to the group to announce themselves and their business. These guards seemed to be concerned that they were strangers and that the Baron might be unhappy if they let them in. However, after the group was kind of fumbling around with some explanations of where they were from and what they were there for, Ismark stepped forward and announced himself as the son of the burgomaster from the village, at which the guards immediately let everyone in and offered condolences for the fate of Ismark's father, as well as the town. As the group stepped into a city that seemed to have a bit more pep and hustle than anywhere else they'd been in Barovia, that's where we'll begin.
Did they direct us to go anywhere when he announced about him being the son of the Burgermeister and everything?
Nope.
They say, oh, they just opened the doors and we walked in.
They just opened the doors and you literally have just stepped through those gates. Those guards are still standing next to you. And I have to go run upstairs real quick and give Shauna something. I'll be right back, like 1 minute. If you want to take a quick break.
Hey, what are you gonna? So take care of that jade frog, though. I'm not kidding. I tossed that to you before I died.
Yes.
So just pass it along. Oh, Will, you weren't here for this. I want Clark's perfect. It was like a shawl kind of thing.
Oh, the
What was it
shawl.
like? Yeah, I want that recovered. I mean, I know it probably burned,
Oh,
but
yeah.
maybe
gotta go get
Clark.
that.
It's maybe it's not. Maybe it was magical. I don't know.
Well-
It's perfect. I feel like I wish I would have taken it off before I sat down in front of the witch.
A certain minion broke the jade frog.
Wait, what?
You can't see it. Can you see the video?
I can't. I don't have any video right now. I'm on my cell phone.
A 2-year-old came down in the basement and
Oh, I thought you meant in the game. Oh. Okay. Well, that can be replaced. I thought you meant like a zombie, like stepped on it.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, so you have just walked into the city of Vallaki. You are on a. Now you're gonna have to zoom way in on this map. This is like a really tightly detailed map again. Kind of annoying. It's gonna be hard to see some things. I'm just gonna start uncovering a bunch of stuff. All around the city is those tall sort of wooden walls or
Palisades.
wooden sort of stakes going up. Now that you're on the inside of the city, you can see that about halfway up the palisades or whatever they are like little platforms that you assume like soldiers or lookouts could kind of like crawl up onto and like see over.
Almost like parapets. Got it.
There you go. I don't know all these words.
I studied medieval siege warfare.
Did you really?
Did you really?
No, I mean I read like a couple like books. But I
Dude,
didn't-
Faces of Battle. You need to read it.
Or Weirs, you're muted.
I was just gonna say that's very cool. Have you been to the Cleveland Art Museum, like their medieval armaments, Matt?
No, I would love to go though.
It's pretty neat. Like,
I gotta find some friends in Cleveland who I could do that with.
I was just there last summer. I would love to take you. Not to the art museum, just I
don't
want
wanna
to
come.
take you
Oh,
in general.
I
Good
love the
shit, yeah.
ambiance.
Oh, ooh.
You could tweak the volume yourself too if
I
I
love
got
it.
it up too loud.
No, I love it. I feel like I'm in the town.
All right. So ahead of you, you see you're on sort of like a wider sort of main cobblestone road that cuts through town. This is a much bigger, more well-built sort of town than the village was. The buildings are bigger and more intricate and just more construction than just sort of the older haphazard sort of shacks that you saw in the village. But it is old. It's still very old. There's a lot of, like sort of tree growth and age and, of these buildings. A lot of them look like they're a little bit dilapidated, but they also look like they've been maintained, which you didn't see in the village. Also back in the village of Barovia, there was like tons of, a lot of evidence of like, attacks or sort of distress on the buildings, claw marks and scorch marks and stuff like that, which you don't see any of that here. There are people moving about. They look like the Barovians that you've seen before, maybe a little more well dressed and stuff. But they're kind of like moving ahead down the street, and it is close to like noon, so there's a bit of activity.
Are there any stone buildings close to us?
Stone buildings?
Any sort of stone around us?
So the buildings that you see here have like stone work on them and foundations and stuff.
I'd like to analyze the stone using my stone cutting.
Okay. So you want to like walk up to just one of the maybe older looking buildings, newer looking?
I'd like to walk up to one of the older looking buildings and just kind of like go up to the stone and just kind of like touch it and just see if I can divine anything from it. Like the
Okay.
history of it.
And that's what you guys see.
That's what you. Forward and trying to
That's
fuck a
what-
building.
He just walks up to a random building and starts caressing it gently.
Lean loose.
Yeah, and I touch and I say, oh, this dwarf can appreciate good stonework.
Oh wow.
Really good stonework.
Okay, can you make a history check?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you make a history check?
Sure.
Can you start
It
freaking
says
everybody out?
on my stone cutting that I get double my proficiency bonus. What does that mean? Double my proficiency bonus to the check.
Let's see. Yep, that's right. So your proficiency is 3. So instead of adding,
It'll be 6 to the instead of plus 1. It'll be plus 6.
right,
So my history check. Okay.
that's right.
All right. Who's ready for me to roll a 6?
Or that.
Or
Picking
7?
up right where we left off.
That's good.
So,
too.
so Thoradin walks up, and you noticed him have this like look of sort of analysis and intrigue before when he was standing in front of the big stone gates that were outside of the village, the ones that open and close themselves, and he afterwards had explained some to you. So as he walks up to this building and he's putting his ear to it, you start to hear sort of a you hear a bit of a
Horse.
No, never mind. I don't want to go that route. So you walk up to the building and you're listening to the stone, and all of a sudden the front door swings wide open, and there's this Barovian woman, and she looks down at you and she says, "Hey, little boy, get away from my!" And then as you turn around and she sees your face, and she's which does not look like a child to her, she kind of like freaks out, and you hear her scream and run back in the house and slam the door.
Oh, well, dwarves aren't known for their ways with women, but that's all right.
Because of that, you're sort of distracted and don't pick up anything from it. To you, it's an old rock.
Yeah. All right.
You're fairly certain it's inanimate.
Got it.
You're fairly
Noted.
certain. So confident.
To give you something, I don't know. Sorry. But without even kind of fully sort of analyzing the stonework around these buildings, you could tell just by the age of the wood and stuff, all of you,
Right.
that we're talking hundreds of years old, this town, at least hundreds.
All right, so I look towards the group. I turn around. I say, "All right, who's thirsty for some drinks?"
Lark raises his hand and puts his arm on Thornton and follows
I could
him
use a
in.
cocktail.
Oh, why don't you buy the first round, Alaric? Alaric. Sorry.
Sure.
Sure he would if you'd pronounce his name right.
Alaric.
All right, Wolf.
Alaric.
All right, Wolf man.
Yeah, you Edgar, do you have any recollection of when you became a wolf? Speaking of which,
Say that again.
do you really? I don't really know. When do you recall when you became a wolf? By the way. Like,
Yeah, it was back in.
Okay. Why you became a wolf?
Well, I don't know, man. I got when we first got here. One of our first battles, I got bit by a wolf. I don't know if you guys remember it, but ever since that happened, I was hearing things and blacking out, seeing stuff written in blood on walls in the town, and
Okay.
eventually it led me out into the woods, and these weird wolf people were talking about the children of Mother Night and all this nonsense, and I
The
started-
two guards that are standing right next to you guys start looking at each other, and one of them goes, and he comes over to the other one, and they sort of step back towards the gates, and they're whispering to each other.
I didn't realize we were right next to it.
Yeah, well, and Deckard notices and go, so that's the horror story I used to tell my kids before bed.
That is a scary nightmare. That is a very scary nightmare.
Can you make a deception check?
Crap.
Feed my
We-
kids.
Always get ourselves into trouble.
3.
God.
I haven't rolled anything over a 10 in probably 4 months.
I just as a side note, in Doug's campaign, we're not using Roll20, and we've been rolling our own dice, and I think that's fine too. So if we ever want to get to that, I'm fine with that. People have dice that they want to roll, and it's more fun for them. We could talk about that, I guess. Anyhow, so as you do that, and those guards are kind of sitting there. The one guard looks to the other one and says something, and he starts walking down the street towards the middle of town. And the other guard turns back around and goes back and closes the gates that they opened for you.
We done just fucked up.
I apologize. I didn't know we were right next to the guards still. I probably wouldn't have.
Although I did say that verbatim. Just
I'm
for the
not
record.
challenging you. I didn't.
This is all right. Makes it more interesting.
Should be very interesting in this town.
All right, let's head to the inn. Let's go.
All right. So, just tell me what you want to do. As you're walking down this cobblestone road, to your right there, Thornton, you were kind of trying to gauge the age of the stone or learn more about it.
Yeah.
That's what you see, though. You see a lot of homes, what look like homes on this side of town. The road, as you're in, and again, I am sorry that this isn't a better map. You guys are gonna have to really zoom in. I have to really zoom in. You guys kind of move up to here, and the road branches. The main road continues west. Like you see it very clearly that this is the main thoroughfare that you're on, going east and west, kind of winding.
Yeah.
But it does cut off to the left, a smaller road that seems to weave in between some buildings, and down that road you see some larger sort of structures in it, and it opens up a little bit as well.
All right, I think we want
So
to
you-
continue on the main thoroughfare, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to the fork, and I look left, and then I look straight, and I look straight, and I say, "It's that way."
So you're going to continue moving just kind of west on this road the way I'm doing it right here.
Yep. Down the main thoroughfare.
As we're passing through the town too, I'm just really paying attention to like signs on buildings and stores and things like that to see anything of note. I don't think we're gonna find much, and I'm certainly not gonna announce it. But I'm still looking for that oh shit, what was it called? The Brotherhood of the friggin' Feather or something like that. What was it? I'll find it.
I'm worried people are gonna roll up and stab me in the back,
Keepers of the
or
Feather.
cut my head off and put it on a stake.
And,
Oh yeah, are there still like wolf heads around?
There were, when you walked up to those main gate, coming through the main gates, there was a bunch of stakes with wolf heads. They look like they've been starting to decay, for what it's worth. They don't look like fresh wolf heads. In fact, if you hadn't seen some decapitated wolves and read the signs and put it all together in your head, you'd have a hard time even telling what kind of animal it was. It's just like on a hairy ball of rotting skull.
Hairy
Bunch of
ball.
hairy balls.
Very
A hairy ball of rotting skull. That is the first time I've said that phrase.
Okay.
So you're paying attention. You don't see too much in the way of signs at this point. You do notice that to your south or to the left, now that you're moved up a little bit further, kind of where you're at now, you have a feeling that opens up south of where you're at right now into more type of area. It also seems like that's where that other road that you just went by, you can see the map, was leading to. So there's a couple roads that are leading to this more of an open area. Now that you're like this far down the road and you look south, you see it does sort of open up into like maybe a smaller square or a warehouse district or like a bunch of just storage buildings, something along those lines to the south. And then the main road continues to the west, and you kind of hear more activity to the west in terms of.
Do
like
we
just
see
some-
smoke rising from that big, like, long-looking house building? Like, if I look up, can I see some smoke? Maybe.
Yep, you do to one of the buildings to the south. You also see that sporadically throughout the town.
Can I smell? Do I smell food? Do I smell smoked meats?
Yeah,
or
make a
salt?
perception check.
Okay.
It's a pretty big building too.
You don't hear where you're standing. You don't smell anything that smells
I'm useless. I'm just
appetizing.
useless.
No, but you do smell. You can smell the smell of burning wood or coal and stuff like that. Just like probably heating type of fires, not cooking fires that you can tell.
All right. I'm gonna go get my food. I'm gonna put on my phone, but you guys keep going. I'm gonna just be right
Cool.
back.
Cool. So yeah, you're standing at this little bit of a crossroads now. You can continue west along the road that you've been traveling. That seems to go more towards the heart of the city, but to the south there does seem to be some type of businessy type of area or some non-residential stuff. The road also cuts up to the north.
Do we see people? Are we passing people? How lively is this town?
It is by like Sword Coast standards, a typical kind of town. You're seeing adults, kids, some that look pretty. Yeah, I mean, no one looks super well to do, but some that are dressed and cleaned up and groomed, which is a lot different than what you saw in Barovia.
Okay.
You haven't noticed any. Spargle, since Thoradin's not here, I'm kind of going on passive perception. Spargle, it strikes you interesting that so far you've walked by 20 people, so maybe kind of going to and from. You notice that you haven't seen any of the gypsy type folks, the Vistani. You haven't seen anybody dressed in that colorful garb and whatnot.
Interesting. What? I mean, okay. But they do look similar to like Barovian types of people, other than maybe a little bit
Do I notice
Yeah,
anyone?
more well kept, I guess.
Sorry, well, what?
Do you notice anyone looking at me funny? Do I notice any odd looks?
Make a perception check.
19 plus. I gotta get my D&D up. 21.
21. You actually don't notice anyone looking at you. You do notice a lot of people. No one stares and no one makes a big deal out of anything. They're very to themselves, or if they act as if something catches them as strange, that they don't spend too much time dwelling on it, and they almost kind of are nervous of it and kind of walk the other way. But you do notice that they look at Alaric, they look at Thoradin, they look at Spargle, they look at the non-humans, and kind of do a kind of like, crypti, or kind of just like you notice weird little glances. And they're very subtle, and it was very hard for you to tell that. But you've been really, I think, since you were kind of nervous about maybe what the guards heard, you've been really kind of paying attention, and that's what you've picked up on. But no one that kind of freaks out or runs away or anything. You just notice they get interested and then nervous about being around some of the non-humans, and they know that pretty clear that you guys are not from here.
Okay. Any weird activities taking place that we see? People eating bats, anything like that?
No, it looks like a kind of business as usual town. People do sort of whisper to each other quite they sort of hushed voices. You notice guards. So you notice that and that was something that wasn't present in the village. You notice there are guards who are sort of have like a uniform, and they have like standard equipment in terms of armor, and they all carry long pikes rather than swords or whatnot. And then you also notice what looks like there's maybe some folks that seem to be more like militia or more of a lower class like police force in a way, that they also carry mundane weapons but aren't as well appointed or in sort of armor or anything fancy, or don't have any sort of standard issue attire. But you notice that they seem to be patrolling and looking around.
Okay.
It's the common folk that are when those guards and other people are around, that everybody sort of just mind their business and go about their business. And if they were talking maybe quietly and a guard walks by, they are a little more careful.
Is the guard that walked away, so the two guards that were talking, that overheard me talking, one of them was whispered to and then walked away. One went back to the gate. Have we lost sight of the guy that walked away?
Yeah, no one really said that they were like tracking him or following him or anything. So, and people moving around, he just kind of kept going as you guys were moving down.
Okay.
I'd like to approach a guard.
Like a guard?
Yeah, or like some sort of patrolman or someone walking a beat.
Yep. So yeah, you see a couple after not too much time. As you're standing there, you see two of the guard, what you presume are guards, because they have the big pike kind of hanging on their back, and they're wearing
Right.
armor. And they're walking down the street, and they're kind of looking at people left and right, and they're looking at you a little bit suspiciously, or just kind of locked in on you guys. And what would you like to say?
Yeah, so as I'm approaching the guard, I do make sure to make eye contact and give him a sort of gesture that I'm getting his attention.
Okay.
So I don't want to surprise him. I don't want to sneak up on the guard. What time of the day is it? It's nighttime or it's early? It's around 11:30?
It's high noon.
It's high noon. Okay, so I'd like to approach the guard and say, good morning, good afternoon, guard, sir. Where is the closest watering hole that this dwarf can get a nice drink or some ale?
He looks at you and he says, dwarf, you say. I haven't heard of that country, but yeah. And he's looking around at all you guys. He's I take it you're all new here.
Yeah, we're here for the festival, lad. Aren't you excited? I know I am.
Oh, absolutely. Our festivals are the best. And he's looking around, and he's he's proud that he's promoting this festival and kind of excited about it. He says, well, yeah, if you're here to help celebrate and participate in the festival of the Blazing Sun, he says you're gonna have a great time here. You're very welcomed by everyone in the city. Watering hole, you said. Food? You're looking for food and drink?
I want food and drink and women.
The Blue Water Inn, frankly, only tavern in town. Lodges there. There's a great hot beet soup and some bread that's complimentary. The Martikovs who run the place are gracious hosts. It's not the cheapest place to stay, but you'll find it just a little bit north of the square.
I appreciate that, lad. You've been very helpful.
Oh, but of course, anyone who's participate in the festivals is going to be a welcome visitor, Alaki. In fact, if you happen to talk to the Baron, put in a good word for me.
What is your name, young man?
I knew you were gonna fucking ask me that. Hold on 1 second. He didn't say that. That was a fourth wall kind of response.
My God, I almost just spit out.
He says, my name is Alec Janik. Been a proud member of the town guard for over 10 years now. My son
Did you just make that up?
Semi.
Alec Janik.
Do we see any other references to the festival, like stuff or?
You do. So yeah, I'm sorry. You said you were looking for signs and stuff. As you've been kind of rolling, when you were coming
established.
up,
Mic on.
earlier, you were seeing a lot of the. I showed you all those random sort of signs the last time. What you're seeing now.
What was the name of the inn? I forgot already. I'm sorry. Was it Prancing Pony? What was it?
The Blue Water Inn is what he called it.
Blue Water Inn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I just reshared that sign.
All will be well. All will be well.
But that's the sign. You see that sign kind of posted.
All right.
Do we have any details on what this festival actually is?
Someone
Link
has to be like really
established.
coy
Mic
about it.
on.
Say like, so are they going to do the same thing they did last year, or what, are they going to change it up a little bit?
I'm not very coy.
Well, I mean, I'll do it, but
I will. They did make some kind of creepy comment about bring your kids or something like that. Or remember that there's something about bring your children or something like that. Or,
you know what? I have a good rapport with this guard. Maybe I'll just ask him.
Yeah.
I want to know if they're gonna
Yeah.
slaughter.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. All right, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, I'm gonna ask him. I'm just gonna ask him.
Ask him if he's met our wolf friend.
So Alec, you've been so.
He's killed there. Deckard.
So for the for the festival of the blazing sun, is it going to be like last year's, or is it going to be a different ceremony this year?
Last year. I don't remember what festival.
You're cutting out a bit.
Cut out a little bit.
Yeah, you're cutting out a lot. It seems like a connection thing because the video quality is shit too.
Mm-hmm.
I find
It has something to do with
sometimes
being in the channel, do you? Like,
I
your
f-
calls
I
are more
think-
dedicated?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes the mics cut out because the sensitivity issue. Like, I think that's what it is sometimes. I don't know if it's a connection thing. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
His video's
It's
kinda
hard to
fuzzy,
tell.
too.
It looks like the video quality gets crappy too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a little fuzzy right now.
I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know if you want to try change server again or if boot my shit.
I don't think you have to reboot your stuff, but I don't know. What do you guys think? You're better with internet than me. Adam, you're a big internet guy.
No, don't get me started, brother.
Adam
think-
Atlas
Do you
Story.com.
think the Discord thing makes any difference, whether it's a call versus this?
Well, I think he gets choppy a little bit, even on. I mean, we all do on the call, right? I mean, I don't think that.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I just think it's peak internet usage right now. It's like 9 o'clock at night, so maybe we'll try switching servers because that seems to work for a little bit. You guys want to try Hong Kong? All right, we're on Central. See,
I know it
as soon
sounds
as
goofy, but Dan's clearer.
Yeah,
Right,
everybody's
so-
clear
as
All
soon
right.
as you switch it, everybody's quality goes up.
Hmm.
So there must be something where you change it, they put you at like the top, and then it gradually goes down.
Link
I don't know.
established.
I don't know.
Mic
now.
on.
Everybody's
Well-
back. It's grainy again.
Now
for
it's
everybody.
great.
Punch,
well,
you look
I mean,
good. So
I would
Punch,
rather you.
Deckard looks clear. It's just Dan and Matt look fuzzy.
You look good right now. Everybody looks good right now.
I'm both good right
Hmm.
now.
At this second, everybody looks good.
Okay. Well, the most important thing is if the audio starts chopping up, just interrupt me. We'll
Okay.
switch a server, wait it out. I don't want to miss things. I don't mind the interruption. I'd rather you do that than me ramble on and no one hearing anything. You think we're good for now?
Yeah. All right. So last year's festival, Mr. Jenick.
So he says, last year, he goes, it's hard to remember that many festivals back. We've been having them every 2 weeks for as long as I can remember.
Wow.
Oh, the last year, that was the last one I heard of. Okay, that's great to know.
Well, but I'm glad you and your friends have come back for the current festivals, though. This next
Yeah.
one is certainly going to be one of the best.
Yeah, this is great. What's on the docket this festival?
So okay, hold on, time out. So based on the sign posted, the greatest celebration of the year. This is something they do
Maybe
every
this
2
is-
weeks.
Maybe this is the big one. Maybe this
Oh,
is the
okay.
big. Maybe this is the big Kahuna. Maybe this is like the big one where like all the fireworks go off or something.
Okay.
I will say the Wolf's Head Jamboree says to the greatest celebration of the year too, as well.
I don't know. I'll keep prodding at this guy. I don't.
Yeah, no. He says, a lot of times the Baron has a great surprise for us at these festivals. We have never done a Blazing Sun festival before. This one sounds really cool. I know the Baroness has been working on a secret project that we're all really excited about to see what happens. It's in. He's holding up his hand. He goes, I think 3 days. We're 3 days away, right? He looks at the guy next to him, and the guy nods. He says, "Yeah, festivals in 3 days. Yeah, perfect timing, guys."
Yeah. What should I bring? Should I bring anything else or what?
Oh, usually a lot of great food and drink is provided. There'll certainly be plenty of meat pies that the Baron secures and purchases. Probably one of his favorite things that he's proud to provide at these festivals. It really makes the festival.
Did you say meat pies, Alec?
Yes. Oh, they're the best.
What kind of meat pies?
Well, there's a variety usually, but they're always amazing. What a lot of people come for the pies. Yeah, no, you don't. No one's really needs to bring anything except a smile, their family, and just participate.
Smile in their family.
Okay, so participate. What does that mean?
Well, usually there's a parade. At the
Later, Crocus.
See you, Greg.
was that Crocus?
See you, bud.
I think they shut off his data. Oh, he's back.
They shut off his data.
Wow, talking shit about me. You're caught, bro.
Oh, he said
I'll tell you what, when he left
Actually-
the channel, the quality got better.
When well,
I'm kidding, Crocus.
no, well, when you guys change the things, it kicks me, so then I have to come back in.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
even though I was still in the channel, I couldn't hear anything that you said.
We'll make sure we don't do that
So
again.
all the hurtful things that you said about how Blackwind wasn't shit, and how I'm not shit, and how my data was shut off,
Because we don't
it's
have
all
to
good.
say any of that because you already know, brother.
Hey, Adam, what's your ping time now though? On that thing, mine was in the 70s and 80s, and now it's
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
at
Wish
30s.
you could have Cox cable.
Mine's
You
in the
wish you could have
20s.
Cox cable.
All right, let's stick with this server. Has it been better since we switched, or
Yeah.
doesn't matter?
Audio's been better.
Okay. I think
And
that's
I'm the only one
more
here that's about to eat a DiGiorno high-rise crust, so fuck off.
But he says, the last festival, and he's like, you see him like almost like trying to remember, and he's like, was it no, it was and he looks at his buddy, he's like, was it the wolf thing, or the vampire teeth, or the bats? No, the wolf. Yeah. The Wolf's Head Jamboree. That was the best festival of the year. Surely the Festival of the Blazing Sun will be better. But there was a grand parade, probably 30 or 40 wolf heads on spikes as everybody paraded through town.
Deckard overhearing this, like throws up in his mouth.
What would that even look like? How does one throw up? All right, so
he spits it out a little bit. He kind of goes,
yeah. Got it. All right, so I'm still a little weirded out by this,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it's gonna be like any of us have to like do anything or we have to like hurt anyone. I just think it's like the little happy cult day they have. I don't know.
I can't
Hey,
see
hey,
what
man, don't worry. All will be well.
Yeah, all right. So I'm
the
gonna
signs that you keep posting, I've been like taking snapshots of it, Like it says something underneath the sun. What does that say? I can't read it.
It says attendance and children required, rain or shine.
Okay, so that's the thing about attendance and children. required.
Attendance and children required.
Yeah, you should. Oh, you should be able to. When I share that, Ponch, there's like you can click into it and it blows up full
I should have
screen.
clicked on that.
Oh,
I have one-
I'm trying to take snapshots. I didn't know about that.
I have one final question for Alex Jennings. So I just want to say, so I don't have children. This dwarf has no kids. Am I still allowed to go because I don't have children?
Oh, of course. Yes, absolutely. The Baron just wants the whole town, everybody that can get out of their own bed, here and present for the festival. We really believe, and we've, knock on wood, we haven't seen the Dark Lord within these walls in my lifetime.
And I clutch my pearls and I go, oh, who's the Dark Lord?
And he looks at his buddy next to him, and he says, Count Strahd, you are from these lands, right?
I'm from very far away, but I am from these lands.
Yeah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but a lot of Barovia is under the oppression of a Dark Lord. we here in Valaki enjoy a bit of sanctuary and safety. And I strongly believe, and you see him kind of look over his shoulder. He said, I 100% believe it's the joy and cheer of these festivals that keeps the Dark Lord away.
Well, thank you, Alec. I appreciate all the information you gave me. I put my hand out. I go to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand.
Good, and I squeeze a little bit. You know, I got a tough dwarven grip, you know, from all
His
that
eyes
metal.
his eyes widen a little bit, and based on your sort of height and stuff, he probably didn't expect such a firm grip.
Yeah.
But he
Matt,
says,
You give him a little tickle.
No. No. Let's keep it, you know. I want to establish a good rapport. I don't want to weird him out. Might need this guy.
He says, yeah, and don't forget, if you talk to the Baron, make sure you tell him that Alec was a big fan and supporter of his festival.
Will do, Alec. Thank you.
Likewise, I'll see you there, right?
I'll see you bright and early in 3 days.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right.
He looks at his friend. They seem to be a little, they seem to have a little pep in their step as they walk away. They feel like they did something good.
As I get back to the group about 12 feet away, I say, oh, thank God, that fucking guy's gone. No, I don't
I hope you do.
know. All right, cool. So let's go to the Blue Water Inn, you know?
All right. So which way are you going?
Shit. He gave
Did
us.
he give you directions?
Oh shit, Carol Baskin.
Shit. So I turn
I'm
back
gonna
and I go,
shoot this bitch. No, sorry. Go ahead. I'm not
I
even
go,
here.
Alec, which way is the Blue Water Inn? Which way do I go?
He turns back around. He looks a little bit startled now. He says, and he points to the west, and he says, when you get to the square, it'll be north of that.
All right, thanks, bud. See ya.
He nods.
Yeah, embarrassed myself. All right, so let's keep going west.
No, I gotta give you credit for that, Matt. Like, in all of our campaigns, like, we've been really bad about like building rapport with villagers,
Oh yeah.
and that's probably the best I've ever seen it done.
I mean, we usually kill them in this fucking campaign. So I mean, what the, you know.
Yeah, it's usually right about now that we're rolling initiative.
So you get a little bit further, and it branches off here, and it looks like the main road continues to the west. And you definitely see larger buildings to the west. But if you see this little branch that goes to the southwest of where you're at right now, that actually looks, when you look down that road, it looks like there's more of about 1,000 feet down that road, there's more of what might be a square or a circle of businesses.
So I scream at the top of my lungs. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. Do you guys want to go southwest down this road here? Or you want to continue on the thoroughfare that heads?
Well, we got to go north, so I say we try and get to the tavern and find the square.
Hey, give me 1 minute. I got to grab a drink and stuff. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I thought he
Go
was
for it.
saying that down to the southwest it actually looked like that.
Well, he said square, right? So is the square to the southwest? I'll be right
That's
back.
kind of what I thought he said.
Oh,
I thought he said down to southwest, even though it's the path goes west, northwest or whatever. He said that down to the southwest. He said if you look down it looks like there's a square.
Oh, so maybe that's what we should be doing.
I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's a big deal for us to explore a little bit. We're gonna be. I don't know.
well, it sounds like we're gonna be here for 3 days. So
I was just gonna say we'll probably be here for at least until the festival. I don't know. Maybe we want to get the hell out of here before the festival. I don't know. What do we want to do? I mean, do we want to meet this Burgermeister guy? Do we want to?
well, yeah, I guess we
Very
should
low.
ask. What's his name?
Isaac or not Isaac? What the hell?
Who's our guy that's with us?
Son of a bitch.
Ismark. We could ask him what he wanted to come here, so
Yeah.
what's his
let's ask
plan?
him. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I can hear you guys the whole time on my.
Oh,
can't talk back because my mic's in here. So yes, to clarify, when you look to the southwest, the road branches. I mean, it doesn't take a master cartographer to figure out that you could probably get there either direction, is I guess what I'm getting at this point. The main road, though, the big heavy road that you're on in this town goes straight east and west. Let's just kind of call it that. To the southwest, though, looks like it might be like another cut over towards what might be the town where you see a bunch of like larger business buildings rather than residents.
Okay.
So you can head either direction.
Let's just go south.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just go south.
The south route. Okay. Okay, the southwest little road here that I'm uncovering, like this way. Yeah, my goal is to reveal as much of this map as quickly as I can, so I don't have to keep doing piecemeal. But eventually, you'll get it. You'll see it all, I'm sure. So okay, I'm just gonna say you continue down this road. Let me know if you'd like to check out. You can literally look in every single square and box on this map. It's that detailed. If you want to check out any sort of random building, like I don't want you guys to feel like I'm giving you like you can go this left or right. You can do whatever the hell you want at this point in terms of checking things out. But as you move that direction, you're getting a little bit closer. You do realize it becomes pretty clear that this is something of a square, if not the sort of main town square. It's definitely a block of some stuff. The shops and homes that enclose this town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square, so now you're in, you're right here, sitting in the middle of this square.
What's this thing? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, ping it.
That blue building we just kind of passed. The big one with the smoke.
That blue building. Okay. That's more of a like it looks like just like sort of a larger maybe warehouse or storage building.
Okay.
That might have some like offices and stuff in it. It seems like it's like part of the square in terms of as I'll describe in a second here. It looks like they maybe hold like meetings or public sort of like gatherings here in this area, and that may be where they keep things like the stage or like some of the like guardrails and stuff that they might put out when they're having one of these events.
Gotcha.
At the north end of the square, so it's just sort of to the west of that, the southwest of that building, right on the square side, stands a row of stocks. You know what stocks are? Like stocks, like you like in in Frontierland at Disney World, that you take a picture in, pretend you're an old criminal. Locked in which are several men, women, and children wearing crude plaster donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain that's in the middle of the square. Standing tall at the center of the fountain, there's a statue, is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations, which are actually those. There's still a bunch. There's a bunch of the signs that look like. If I find it, I'll redo it. That one. You see a bunch of those signs all over this, all around the square.
Pikes will be provided. Place is
How many times are you gonna write greatest celebration of the year? I mean, come on.
Right. It's always a
You
great
just hear
celebration.
Blackwind's voice in your ear, and he's just like, "It's totally cool here. Just hang out. It's totally fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen."
You guys get a sense that Deckard is really uneasy.
From the kids being in the stocks or from the wolf poster?
Just
A little
all
bit of everything. Yeah.
All of it.
How old are the kids in this?
They have like these makeshift looking like fake donkey heads on their heads, so you can't tell, but by the size of their bodies, you would say 10-ish.
So I
Plus or
turned to the
minus
group
2.
and I say, Sparkle, I know you don't like kids, but this is kind of fucked up.
Oh no! Too soon.
I know you hate your people's hate oatmeal.
I know y'all. I know y'all's people hate oatmeal.
Nothing. Just nothing.
I'm gonna. What else is around? Like, is there anyone like guarding those?
Yep.
people?
There are there's a couple of those like guard. There's like 2 of those same type of guard, like dressed in those same kind of guard things, just kind of standing there, barely paying attention. There are a number of people, the peasant type people, that are throwing garbage at those figures. You hear them making taunts at them and yelling at them.
I walk up to one of the peasants throwing stuff, and I go, what these idiots do? What are they up there for?
Oh well, they look up at you, and an older man says, just more malicious unhappiness. You know, they're none of these young folk are listening to the Baron, and you know they chose to not participate in the last festival, I would assume, or they said something bad about it. And, you know, we can't have that. As soon as that crap starts, the Dark Lord will be in here, and that'll be the end of it.
Idiots. How the hell would they do that?
Exactly. Here, and he hands you a rotten tomato.
Oh, we throwing stuff at him?
I throw it, but go way wide. I like purposely miss.
All right. Make an attack. Make a dexterity check.
Okay.
What did I miss?
He's throwing a tomato at kids.
Oh my
And the
god.
card said
17.
Basically,
Okay.
Blackwood's
purposely
gone, and
missing.
you guys know.
Yeah, so you're pretty good. You know, you've got some skill, so you know you're good with hand-eye coordination and stuff. So you whip it, and you put a nice curve on it. You throw a nice curveball where it looks like you intended to kind of throw it at one of the men in the stocks, and it just kind of like curves right between 2 of them and hits the wall. And like the guy claps you on the back, and he laughs. And he goes, "What?" He goes, "You missed that one." He goes, "I'm not giving you the rest of my tomatoes, though. You can get your own."
Hey, don't
Turn
give
out
those good
Sparkle do it.
tomatoes to me. You don't want to waste them on me.
I mean, you hear some more like taunts and jeers of like, yeah, go back to the Dark Lord, or you know, things like, you know, take your unhappiness out of here. And just
if you
people
know, I'm
just-
still standing next to him, and I say, I just got into town. I actually, I missed the Wolf Festival because I wasn't here.
it was a good
Traveled a
one.
long way to be here for the Festival of the Blazing Sun. I'm real excited, but
Yes. Oh man, I can't wait.
So what did I miss at the Wolf Festival? What did I miss?
It was pretty good. You know, we had good attendance, which is the most important thing. Unfortunately, one of the 1 second, I gotta look the thing up. there's a lot here, so I'm gonna have to do this occasionally because I want to get some things right. Um, he says, the festival, that last one was really, everything went exactly to the Baron's plans. It's only these handful that he even threw in the stocks. It's usually about a third of what we usually see. So I think it seems like the town's really snapping in line. The old lady, the old worshiper lady who was always in church, though, her son, he starts to laugh, and then he like kind of catches himself. He goes, he made his own sign, and yeah, I don't know if the Baron appreciated that. We haven't seen him since. He just sort of disappeared. Udo, his name was Udo. I can't even repeat what his sign said, but I don't think we're going to see anyone else making fun of the Baron anytime soon. You're muted or something, Will.
So I guess that was a dumb move on his part. I guess Baron doesn't like people talking out against him, does he?
Well, no, but I think he's just all looking out for us, to be honest with you. I mean, if everybody starts being unhappy or not celebrating, that'll be the end of our life as we know it.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, he's kept the Dark Lord out of here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this Udo, no one's seen him?
No, not since he was running around saying all will not be well, carrying a sign about the Baron.
Oh man, he must be young. How old is he?
Oh, can't even be an adult yet. 16, 17 maybe. The old lady, she's always at the church. She's probably in her 50s, 60. Yeah, I'd say he's barely a man.
Is his mom still around? Is she missing?
No, I don't think so. Man, she spends half her life at the church. And now that her son's gone, I'm sure she's praying extra hard.
And where's the church at?
He points kind of, if you were to go back to where the main east-west road is, he goes, clear on the west side of town. He says it's right inside of the Sunset Gate.
Okay. All right. Anybody can go in there? Can I go worship if I wanted to?
Yeah, I think so. I think he says, Father Petrovic, he keeps a evening mass. Usually pretty popular.
All right.
With the folk around here.
Sounds good.
Hey, God, what is your name?
This is just an old man who was throwing tomatoes at the people that are cutting the stocks and
it's like
willed-
a peasant
and-
throwing.
What is your name, sir?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Flip it through the book.
What'd you say that? What'd you say there, young man?
What?
He sees your old looking face and looks real confused.
Yeah, I keep getting that a lot. I said,
He
"What
says,
is your name?"
He says I'm they call me Old Man Rilsky, Korga Rilsky.
Old man Rilsky. All right, old man Rilsky.
Old man Rilsky.
old man Rilsky.
Old man Rilsky. All right.
Oh, love the names.
Old man Rilsky. Is there a pedophile ring in this town that we should know about?
What?
Say, y'all like children?
Are people kidnapping children and abusing them in ways that would be unbecoming of a person?
Oh, heavens no. Wallachia is a very safe town. In fact, the only children
Totally safe.
children have a great life here in Wallachia unless they or their parents aren't willing and active participants in the Baron's festivals.
What'll happen to these folks up here in the that have broken the rules? They just stay in there for a few days and they let go, or what do they do? What happens afterward?
Yeah, usually we'll see them come back. They'll kind of shy away from society for a little bit, but if they come, usually they'll reform and sort of come around and hopefully we'll see all our neighbors out here at the Festival of the Blazing Sun holding their signs up high.
Yeah.
Matt Realski. All right.
Well, what's happened to those who haven't reformed? I assume they go missing.
Well, yeah, and it's better that a couple of them disappear than you know.
No, we don't know.
Well, it's if we don't keep everybody in line here, the walls aren't protecting us from the Dark Lord. It's really these festivals and our solidarity in happiness.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, old man
one last
Realski.
question, and I'll leave you alone. Why does everyone hate wolves so much?
Well, these wolves are endless. To tell you the one, and people believe they're all agents of Strahd. There's not an end to them. Anyone outside of the city here is constantly attacked by them, and a few less wolves and a few more stakes didn't make anyone unhappy here in Vallaki.
Well, I appreciate the information, old man Rilski,
Man Realski.
and I grab a tomato from his bucket and hand it to him.
Picks it up. He lines up for one of the kids, and he pulls back, and he throws it, and it actually knocks the plaster donkey head up a little bit, and you see just a sad, just tired, sunken eyes, not even looking or making emotions anymore, just exhausted face as the donkey head falls back down, and the arms and everything just kind of slump back down. None of the bodies are sort of moving or even fighting at this point.
So I look at that, and then I look back down, and I'm just acting sullen and kind of kicking a rotten rock in the road, and like, not my fault. I didn't went in the third floor.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
I leave old man Rilski. I go back to Sprague. I go, man, these kids look kind of miserable. You got a fireball for them?
Oh.
I'm just kidding, friend. I'm just kidding, Sparkle. You know,
I'm
my
just
guy.
kidding, friend.
You know my guy.
Sparkle doesn't look too cheered up.
Oh, it's such terrible friends.
Prodigal, maybe you could save one of these kids to atone for your sins.
I brighten up a little bit.
After your suddenly Thornton,
Oh.
you're kind of standing back behind Spargle's just sort of kicking around behind Deckard, and Deckard's been talking to this old man, and the rest of you are just kind of like sitting around kind of watching things. You notice first that the volume of the crowd in the square around you dips a little bit. And so that catches you off guard, and you look over to the ones you start scanning around, and you notice a lot of people's eyes all turning towards that big, large blue building that had the smoke coming out of it that Spargle was checking out earlier.
Like the warehouse storage area.
Yeah. You see two guards come out. They look like they have nicer attire or more polished than some of the other
Right.
guards you saw, but same kind of setup.
Higher ranking, probably. Okay, go ahead.
In the middle of them, though, is the largest, well-built human you guys have ever seen. Now, I want you to, the guy that plays the mountain,
Yeah.
Guy that plays what?
Hapthor
the mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Am I breaking?
Strongest man.
No, just for a sec. Yeah.
That dude, whatever his name is,
Hapthor Bjornsson, yeah.
him. A little bit bigger than that guy. Like none of you have seen. I mean, he's
Oh.
bigger than a Lark, and a Lark's half orc, and you guys
Oh.
are well. So this guy comes out.
I want to meet him.
He's got a big black, also Game of Thrones ish. He looks like one of the. He's got the big black cloak like Jon Snow wears, or the guys on the wall. There's just a big, huge, thick, velvety black flowing cloak. His his one massive arm is hanging out, his other one is sort of tucked back behind the cloak as he starts like kind of booming, like you almost hear his footsteps as he's walking down the steps from that big building.
Is he being escorted as if he's under like he's being arrested, or he's
No, he seems to be leading these other ones. They're almost sort of flanking him.
He's like a big kahuna. He's a big man on campus around here. Oh, I want to meet him. I want to meet him. So maybe you guys want to walk over there?
Unfortunately, I'll show you a picture of him later at some point when it makes sense.
I'm literally picturing the guy who the mountain.
Also bald like that guy. No facial hair though. A little bit more sort of like elongated sort of head, not like a round. He doesn't look like it's more like a
like the Rock.
Just more sort of proportional like that.
The tall version of the Rock.
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty good. Actually, really good. He's got a very Rock-like look into him. He's even got like sort of sunken in, darker eyes. He's got a scowl on his face that looks terrifying. Doesn't really make much eye contact with people.
Black armor, you said?
A black like cloak.
Black cloak, no armor.
Kind of thing with no armor that you can see. No. And he stands out, and you see him mouthing something to the guards that he came out with, and he just stands at the top of the steps, looking down at the stockades. He seems to be now, as he sent the two guards in two different directions around the square. He looks down at the stocks and all the people throwing, almost like he's judging or kind of like not looking at the people in the stocks, but the people that are like throwing shit at the people in the stocks and sort of like nodding in approval as he scans back and forth, watching.
Maybe with the clout that Ismark has, we can get an audience with this guy.
Well, hang on. I'm still standing next to old man Risky, right?
Yeah.
Old man Risky.
I say, old man.
Old man Rilsky.
And I don't point. I'm kind of sly about it. I'm like, who's
giving one of these? Like,
yeah, like I'm still looking at him, but like the big guy's up here, but I'm like, who's the big guy?
This is when you say that, it's the first time he suddenly seems uncomfortable talking to you. He kind of like the tomato he had in his throw, he kind of drops to the side and he kind of like starts to turn his back and face away from this large figure. And he says, you want to be careful. That's the Baron's right-hand man there. His name is Izek.
Izek or Zek?
Izek.
shitty name.
Izek. Yeah, you just be careful around him, especially if you're new here or you're a visitor. You want to stay clear.
Isn't that Russian for prisoner? For anyone who's seen Jack Reacher?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Izek.
Jack Reacher is amazing.
Thanks for the spoilers. Punch.
Izek.
Oh.
Izek. I'm saying it Izek. Izek. I don't know
Real
if that's
quick,
right though.
I just want to recap these names here. So it was Uda.
Yep.
The boy.
Udo was the boy that somehow did something offensive. Festival of the Wolf and has disappeared, and his mother is sad about it.
And then of Petrovic. Petrovic is the priest. The
Father, yeah, someone referenced Father Petrovic.
He's the warship leader, we'll call him. And then this guy is Azek. Did you
Correct.
spell that?
Izek.
Okay. I'm just gonna call him the Rock. Okay.
Ismark, when you walked into Velaki, was super upbeat and excited. Him and Irina haven't said anything. They've stayed very low key. They've stuck with sort of the group and just sort of let you guys do the talking and stuff. Irina seems to be uncomfortable with the people in the stocks. and is starting to get a little bit shifty and just sort of doesn't seem like she wants to be there right now.
I'd like.
For what it's worth.
Do
I'd
we
like to
notice
ask-
that, I assume. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, anybody that's even looking at it, that their mood has changed since you guys have gotten to this square and kind of seen some of this stuff. Looks like I don't know, they're just kind of sitting there and not comfortable right now.
So I-
Get to the tavern.
that's a good idea.
What's that?
Head make our way to the tavern.
Maybe we should go out. Maybe we should make our way to the tavern, huh?
Yeah, I think we should have a few drinks, maybe have a laugh or two.
All right, I'm with you, Thor. I didn't say his name.
That's okay. You don't have.
I'm with you, brother.
Better safe than sorry. As you guys, so you're going to start leaving this square?
Yeah, I do want to ask Ismark if that big fella Izek, does that ring a bell? Have you had did your father have acquaintances with him or any run-ins, interactions with him? You know.
He says, he looks up at the rock guy and he's like, that guy, no, that fucking guy is fucking huge. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I have no idea who he is. In fact, we didn't really have ties to Vallaki. There was very little sort of commerce and politics between our two cities. Frankly, they always thought we were kind of fodder to Strahd, living so close under Castle Ravenloft. They just kind of pitied us more than anything. Never sent help, never offered anything, but here we are. So not sure who that guy is, but I don't want to arm wrestle him.
I want to arm wrestle him. That is my goal. I'm gonna arm wrestle him before this is all over. I'm telling you right now. I bet you dollars to donuts I'm gonna arm wrestle him.
As you're talking to Ismark, the two guards that came out the door, you now notice that they are tearing down the Wolf's Head Jamboree signs, and they're putting up in their place the Festival of the Blazing Sun posters instead. As this Izek is just sort of Izek. How are we going to say that?
You tell us, DM.
Izek is just sort of watching.
Like Mussolini, just standing there.
Do we notice him eye us at all, or do I notice him eyeing my non-human friends?
He's really not. He almost seems like to have like indifference about the crowd. Almost like he's like just looking over a sea of just peasants and just people that are beneath him that he's not. It's not even worth him making this like crowd of just people. He's more interested. He's just more kind of just making sure the guards are doing what they should be doing, and he is watching the sort of activity around the people that are throwing shit at the ones in the stocks. He seems to be more kind of focused on that.
If Blackwin were here, he'd throw a tomato at Izek.
Well, right. Why
Oh,
wouldn't he?
dude, if I was there, none of this would be happening right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't have got to this point.
You guys would all be dead. You guys would be in the stocks.
We would all be in the middle of the square right
Are
now.
the
Blackman
children
would-
Yeah.
free yet? Like, what are we
Yep.
doing? What are we
Broken?
doing?
Blackwin would have already shot a witch bolt at the rock.
Absolutely.
Not even a
We'll all
witch
be
bolt.
wearing
I would have
donkey
whispered.
heads.
I would have whispered some stuff. I would have expended a spell slot. Oh, I guess the witch bolt was a spell. See, I'm not a warlock anymore. I'm a oh, spoiler. No, but fucking do some shit. Fucking sitting here. You guys need somebody to stir some shit up. Come on, bring back.
We're
Blackwood
getting
back.
there.
It's
a
okay.
slow burn,
Sometimes
Broken.
we're adventurers and we aren't stirring shit up.
Not
Believe
every
it or not.
episode of Game of
Oh,
Thrones
really?
is the
You
Battle
just
of the
went
Black
to a
Iron.
crazy
Right.
Some of them
fucking.
You
This
build
is
up
the
a little bit.
creepiest village. This makes Barovia look like fucking Club Med. All right, Barovia, you get 5-star service. There's just the guy polishing the glass who's like, "Yeah, okay, what was his name?
Eric.
A couple
Eric
of
the
hot
bartender.
Jewish ladies. It doesn't. This is fucked, man. All right. I'm a ghost again. Goodbye.
All right, let's head to the
Did
tavern.
anybody, brother, did you just hear Blackwind talking? I don't.
Nah, lad, that's in your head.
Do it.
My arm starts to like
Do it.
involuntarily like grab my crossbow and start aiming at the rock. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
My spirit lives among you.
I pull the jade frog out and it's glowing.
Oh my god. Oh. See, I'm still
You don't
here.
have the
I'm
Jade
still here.
Frog, brother.
That's true, Lark.
Oh, that's right, Alaric has it.
Well, he feels it glowing against his.
All right.
I
Well,
don't
I say farewell to old man Crystal, Crisco.
Old man Rilsky.
Christopher Columbus.
And I say, well, we're headed to the tavern, friend. If you come on by, I'll be happy to buy a cocktail.
Says, oh, well, I might take you up on.
No, we weren't
Thank you.
serious, Mr. Rilsky.
Uh-oh.
Just relax.
We weren't serious.
Well, all right.
In
Well,
that case.
okay. Well, I gave you one of my tomatoes, but okay. But he looks at you, Deckard, and he says, all right, well, yeah, you know, they'll take good care of you there. He goes, I don't expect it to be too lively this time of day.
All right. Well, thanks for the chat. Good luck to you.
And really don't show up. We wasn't really serious about the invite.
When you say that, Izek, now that these guards have started doing their job of replacing the signs, you see him turn around and go back into that building.
Okay.
And this is the big building?
That's the warehouse. Yeah, the blue one.
The blue one.
With the
Yeah.
smoke.
All right.
That one right there.
With the smoke.
What do you say we hightail it straight to the tavern?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do
Of
it.
course, if there's anything interesting along the way. Is there any? Yeah, just let us know if there's something we should take note of on the way there, Dan.
Yeah. So if you guys like, just kind of like draw me the route.
Well,
yeah. So
I
we
want to go up here because that's where he said.
that like northwest area. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Yeah. So you're kind of walking up this way. Actually, right where you drew that to the left. You see houses. You see like what looks like warehouses or just storehouses and stuff. Nothing else that looks like a public-facing building. You do walk by. Okay, so one of these. So you're moving out of this square area, and you do notice that there is one right as you're leaving the square on the left-hand side. There's a more unique-looking, smaller building that has, there's a wooden sign hanging over the door that's shaped like a rocking horse with like a bee engraved on one side and then a mirror image bee on the other side, like two bees around a rocking horse hanging above this door. But you don't see anybody going in and out of that shop.
Barovian bitches. Let's go in. I'll knock. I'd like to go.
But it is a small little shop.
Yeah. All right. I'll go up. I'll
I'll
bite.
go with you.
Yeah, let's go.
Interesting. I'm interested.
Maybe there's a quest giver in there. Who knows?
Oh yeah, and as you peek in the door, you see like a little gold question mark or exclamation point right above. No.
That's what I'm looking for. That's it.
So this cramped shop has a dark entrance portico. Who else is going in?
I'll
I'm
follow.
following him. I'm going with him.
And I'm behind Spargle.
I'm going, baby.
So everybody's going in.
Are we open fit?
It's not that big of a shop. Ismark and Irina are like.
I mean, I can hang
Says,
out. I'll hang out front with Irina.
Yeah, you're kind of big. Maybe just hang out
I'll
outside.
hang out with Irina. Make sure everything's fine.
Yes. And as you Alaric, don't go into the shop. Ismark he was following everybody else, but he almost seems relieved that you're not going in. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll just hang out here. I don't. What is this? Why are we going in here?" He says,
And I'm walking in
says
last
that to you, Alaric.
Spargle, and when I see Alaric's gonna stay out and hang with Irina, I'm like, well, I'm like halfway in the door, and I'm like, well, you're staying out, you're staying outside. Well, all right, yeah, and I just go inside.
Oh,
Your sweet pickup lines with her.
I just do whatever I need to do to support my friends. So I'm gonna stand guard here because it seems a little suspicious.
I like that. That's a good friend.
Ismark turns to Alaric and he says, yeah, he goes, man, I was pretty hopeful when we got here, and I certainly feel a little safer, but I get a good vibe.
No, yeah, I don't usually get a good vibe about most things that have happened to me in the last 3 months, 3 weeks here. So yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, well, and he looks at Irina, and she kind of like tucks up next to him too, and doesn't go into the shop. But for those of you that do go in, so Gordon, Spargle, Decker, the Cramp shop has a dark entrance portico above which hangs a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a B engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are 2 arched lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you see jumbled displays of toys and hanging placards bearing the slogan. And as you walk in, you see this like sort of painted sign above the counter that says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
That's right.
Zelensky, the auto parts king.
Blinsky.
Blinsky's Barovia. Blinsky and Barovia. What's the beat? So I get in there and I just say welcome.
So you see about a 50-ish year old, heavy set. Maybe
good.
tell me I have a picture of this
My
guy. So
speed. Heavy set 50s. This is my speed. Here we go. I do well with
there
that.
we go.
That demographic.
Yeah. So you see a heavier set guy. He's actually wearing a jester cap. It's a little dirty and it's got like kind of holes in it and stuff like that. And on his shoulder is a monkey in a tutu, literally perched on his shoulder like a parrot on a pirate, just sort of sitting there. He's got a goatee. He really looks like a fat version of me with a jester hat on. So let me just roll with that for now.
All right. Do I have any food? Yeah, so I pull out some food I have some in my bag. I have some
Elven bread.
I don't have any bananas. What do I have?
Rations.
I have rations. So can I pull out some of my rations? I pull out some of my rations and I gesture over to the monkey and I say, "Oh, Roscoe, how are you, lad?" Yes. And I recognize the monkey, or so I think I do. I don't know.
You say what now? You call him what?
Roscoe. Oh, hello. And I go to feed the monkey some of the food from my hand.
The man kind of takes a step back, and as the monkey reaches food, and the man says, what are you feeding him? His name's Piccolo.
Hey, lad, you don't seem so worried about what anybody's eating around, do you?
He looks down and he looks sad for a second, and then kind of smirks, and he goes,
Yeah.
He goes, "It's no fun, it's no Blinsky."
So I tap him on the shoulder and I say, "Blinsky, I like you, lad. What do you do around here?"
He says, I bring joy to children. He says, "Welcome, friends. This is the House of Blinsky."
All right, you said that. All will be well, but what do you sell? Show me some of your wares.
He says, well, and now he's like, this is like a very reversed but broken up sort of line. He's like, he says, well, this is where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know a little child in need of joy, a little toy for a girl or boy. Like he said this like 1,000 times to the point where it doesn't have any inflection anymore. It's just robotic.
So at the moment he says, perhaps you need, a child that's in need of joy, I just kind of like turn my head and I walk out.
He's like, Blinsky sell no flame retardant, but I have plenty of toys.
Oh.
Say that.
Okay, so
Oh no.
as Sparkle tries to leave, I grab him. And I say, "This is my son right here. Show me some toys for my boy."
When you pull Spargle back, the monkey in the tutu hops down, looks up at Spargle, and it's kind of like bouncing and like excited for some reason.
Oh, Stinkbag has to love this.
Hey, Dan, what do you have your gain set to on the back of your mic?
I have it all the way down.
Oh, that's probably why you cut out so much.
No, it's because I'll change it. I didn't know
Are
I
you
was
sure?
cutting out. Yep.
Why do you have it all the way down?
So do I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's because I use the auto detect settings on
It's Discord.
Discord, so I changed
Okay.
that. So my mic will just hang open the whole time now. That I can fix. The connection thing is what bothers me more.
So Roscoe starts playing with Sparkle when I grab Sparkle. Or Piccolo. I'm calling him Roscoe, but
So wait, what'd you say?
so I grab Sparkle.
All right.
I say, "This is my son. What kind of toys do you have for him?" So then I think you said Piccolo, which I call Roscoe the monkey, starts dancing with Sparkle. and then I said to Punch, I said, "Stinkbag must really enjoy this. I mean, does he like monkeys or what? I don't know."
I don't think he'll eat a monkey or anything. He likes small little things to eat and stuff, but I don't think he'd want to play with a monkey.
All right.
You bend over and I look at the monkey and I go, I don't know if I can say this or not, but I gesture at the tutu on the monkey and I go, I can communicate with small animals, so I'm trying to communicate, and points at me like, "Are you happy with this?"
Oh, so you're actually trying to communicate with Piccolo.
Right.
And so explain to me again how that works back to you. Like he talks like he like makes monkey noises and you can understand it, or he speaks to you telepathically.
No. I don't think it's telepathically, because it's, that's a racial thing, not like an arcane thing. So I don't know. You tell me. I mean, like, I'm a forest gnome, so I think it has to be something to do with us being so, like,
Yep. So you almost more naturally communicate with animals in their native tongue. So you're kind of like making some weird like chittering noises at the monkey.
Maybe
and
like gestures and
Yeah. So the monkey communicates back to you, so others won't hear this in character. He says, the monkey says, "Oh yeah, Blinsky, good owner. My old owner was good too. Love it here. Well fed. Lots of toys."
Okay. I
All
just
right,
look
you're
up
cool.
at Thornton and I'm just like, oh, he seems to be a happy monkey.
And Blinsky looks at you, Thornton, and he goes, he says, "Oh, your son is making noises at my monkey."
Oh yeah, he loves animals. He had a pet monkey named Roscoe many years ago.
Monkeys make the greatest pets, don't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So do you want a toy for your son?
I do want the toy. What do you have, oh shopkeep?
He says, well, here's some of my latest creations. And he kind of like hurries you over to a shelf of stuff. And you see a bunch of things on there. The first one is a headless doll that comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one with its eyes and mouth stitched shut. He says, that's 9 copper is what I asked for that one.
Oh yeah.
A miniature gallows complete with a trap door and a weighted hangman. He says that one's also 9 copper. He says, in fact, most of these smaller ones are all 9. A set of wooden nesting dolls. The smaller each one gets, like one of those Russian dolls, the older it gets, and the innermost doll is a mummified corpse. He's kind of like pulls that apart, and he shows you he's really proud of the gaunt-looking mummified corpse. And then there's a wood and string mobile with hanging bats and their wings flap. That's also 9 copper. And then he's got a wind-up musical merry-go-round instead of horses, they're like snarling wolves that are chasing children. That one's 9 silver because it's mechanical.
If you
And
guys
then-
don't buy the baby with the eyes and the mouth stitched shut, I'm not gonna forgive you guys. It's 9 copper. Get it
Buy
done.
all of them just to burn them.
Just buy it all.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And then he's got 2 more toys, a ventriloquist dummy, and Sparkle, this one catches your eye. At first you're like, oh, that's a angry looking man. And then you kind of focus on it for a second and you realize it's Strahd. It's supposed to look like Strahd a little bit. And then Thoradin, you see him, there's like one more toy or doll at the end of the row, and he goes to grab it, and instead he sort of knocks it back behind the counter, and he says, there was one more, but that one's sold.
Oh, what is it? Let's see it. Come on, Chunky, let's go.
I'm sorry. It was a custom piece that was made for somebody. I can't sell it.
I'm not looking to buy it. I just want to know what it is.
It's a private thing. I sometimes make, and I'm happy to make for you anything you would want. It's custom. It takes me but a week to put
All
together.
right. How about if I buy all your shit, you tell me what that was? You have 3 seconds to decide, lad. I drive a hard bargain.
Make a precision check.
Okay.
He says, he said, I'd love to. He says, that one, though, is for a very special customer. And honestly, it'd be my own life on the line if I were to divulge what one of my custom pieces what were.
Sparkle, ask the monkey.
Okay. So I will try to convey to the monkey. I'm like, can I see that? I gestured where it was, and I'm like, can you bring me that toy?
The monkey replies back, and it says, banana.
We have rations. Do you have banana, Sparkle? I don't have any bananas. We have rations. Can you conjure a banana? I don't know.
I could probably fake a banana, but I don't like the idea of like actually deceiving it. So I will pull out some food, and I do have like just small some small like dried meat type of thing, and I say, "Oh, banana, but how about this?"
So he grabs the little piece of meat and he like sniffs it, and he looks up at you, and he's got this like mean look on his face. He takes his other hand and he reaches behind him. You know what he's doing? Looks like he's scratching his back or something. He comes back up and he's got poop in his hand, and he meshes them together and throws it on the ground and goes, ah!
What a nasty fuck. Maybe rations? What he eat those?
He kind of crawls back up on Blinsky's shoulder and just sort of sits there, and now he's looking at you like in an old, what were those damn shows with the monkeys when we were a kid? You know what I'm talking about. But he's kind of snarls his lips at you almost as like in a mocking sort of smile.
Oh, I was thinking about the one that bangs the cymbals and.
Those are.
Oh, Monkey Shines. No, I was thinking of the what was the goddamn weird show with the talking chimpanzees when we were real little kids, and they would all talk. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind trying to think of that.
Planet of the Apes.
Lancelot Link or something like that. Lancelot Link. That's really old. And they'd be like nodding their heads with their big grins.
Oh, Lancelot Link was one of them, but I'm thinking of something else though. Something.
I want to know if these items, these toys, are like possessed or they have magical enchantments around them.
I do want to get the. I say And I pull even like the copper out of my own pocket to hand it to you, kind of like like whatever. I'm like, I do want the ventriloquist dummy.
I honestly, I think we should buy all of them, but like, I'm just a little worried if they're like evil and like they have spirits attached to them. Like, I wonder if there's a way we could figure that out.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a high creepiness factor with Lewinsky.
Yeah, this guy's weird. Sparkle, can you do like a detect like magic on all those toys and stuff, and kind of see if there's any
Yeah.
any nefarious stuff going on with them?
Yeah, why don't I do that? I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. All right. Let me see. So you were gonna do that as just a regular cast, right? Not a ritual or anything like that. It's something you just
Let me
can.
check real quick. Now that you mention it, I may make sure that I can. I could do it as a ritual, but that would take a while, and it'd be like weird. we might have to do it later. What about this? Because it'd take me like 10 minutes to do it. I will say, you know what? I mean, we could try it later. I could detect magic later.
Yeah, maybe we could always just buy the shit and then do it later.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be safer than doing it here.
Yeah. Let's just buy the shit. I still have 1 gold left from losing 200 to the old bitch.
I got money. So instead of slipping you the coins for the ventriloquist, I slip you a couple gold.
Right.
I mean, Marvin Dickfart is worth 200 gold easily.
Oh yeah, where are our horses? Did we?
I was gonna ask that, but I forgot.
I'll assume that you guys kind of tied them up at the front gates, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Since we didn't talk about it. I mean, you're not carting them through town. They wouldn't probably let horses go up and down the main
shitting all over the
streets here.
place, Yeah.
If I see my horses, if I see Marvin's head on a stake, I'm killing everyone in this town.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
about
no.
Let's
Let's
Daisy.
to semi retcon it. You know, the guards up front at the gate were cool, and there was sort of like a parking kind of area that you guys had left your horses for now.
We still have the slow, weird horse, right?
Dandy.
Dandy?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you call her slow and weird? Is that what I heard? Because I'm gonna haunt you.
With the flower coming out of her hat.
Oh, she's just like licking her hoof. Like, what are we doing now?
All right, I'm sorry. I got to take one more quick break. Be right back.
Okay.
Is that cool? Probably go another 20, 30 minutes if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Whatever works for me.
Let's take 5.
Whatever works for me.
What?
Oh, Crocus, I've been meaning to text you something.
Because she came
What's
in here.
up?
We were talking about it.
Hang on.
That did sound like a sound effect from the game, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Gotta put some WD-40 on it. Oh, Meek's alive. What were you asking, bruh?
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Adam, you going to bed after this?
Yeah. You know, it depends when we end. I might if we end right at 11, I might do some stuff if you want.
Maybe a couple Rocket Leagues, and then you could go
Yeah.
play Final Fantasy.
I would do a few rock
Yeah.
leagues and then go to bed. I gotta.
How's Final Fantasy going?
Awesome. I mean, I haven't played that much, but I'm not in a rush because
You should be in a rush because I cannot wait to talk about it with someone. I'm dying to
Did they
talk about
change
it.
the story?
I'm not answering anything.
I'm like
Change the story to what?
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Like, I thought you were
I
playing
don't
the
want to
game
say that
already.
they've changed it, but they've added things, right? They've added depth. So I'm not gonna give you any details, but like the beginning, like you start off like the whole first opening scenario, getting you kind of familiar with characters and stuff. it's like there's way more side things that happen, right? Like you just get, it just feels more real. I don't know. So far, it's awesome, and I'm loving the fucking combat, which I was super afraid of.
I can't wait to talk about
Did
it.
they?
I am
did
like
they
dying.
where you don't just have the random fight show up, where you're walking and suddenly it's like.
It's action based,
It's-
so
it's
like
action
you
based
walk
now.
around a 3D world, kind of like Skyrim, and you fight enemies like live action.
Oh, so it's not like Pokemon.
No, it's not turn based. It's action RPG.
That's so cool.
That makes me want to get a PS4. That's
Yeah.
That's really neat. They pushed Cyberpunk back to September now.
Yeah, I mean Duke Nukem Forever, you know.
No,
I've
it's
been playing my
gonna come
Switch
out.
a lot recently.
Switch
Dude, you
Mhm.
can't buy them.
Trials of Mana will get the
I
get
got
the
I got
demo.
Hillary one this weekend. They
What'd
had
you
one.
get?
I got her at light.
That's good.
She's loving
Animal
Animal
Crossing is great.
She's loving it.
If you like RPGs, Trials of Mana is really good.
Yeah,
I think there's a demo for it.
yeah. She's loving Animal Crossing. And I'm actually playing it too so we're like both playing it.
Do you play on your own Switch? Like you can be in the same universe together?
Yeah.
Or
So like she and I each have a Switch and then we can play it.
that's cool. Did you see when Elijah Wood sold some turnips to some people?
I heard that. Like he popped into somebody's
Yeah.
Animal Crossing world. Like somebody tweeted him.
about it. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah. So he showed up and he was like, I love your town or whatever. That had to be a trip.
So
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. So what was the? Where did we leave off? Who was doing
So
what?
we're gonna
They're buying
me
the
and
toys.
Spargle. Yeah, we're gonna buy all the toys. We're gonna buy
All
this
the
fat
toys?
fuck out. Well, one of each, I should say. One
Okay.
of each.
Yeah. Oh, that's all he's got. They're all handmade. So he's just got a
so
shelf.
We're putting this fat fuck out of business right here. We're doing it, and I want his fucking hat too. I want his fucking hat, and I want the monkey.
So, all right. So what are you asking him for?
So I was like, we'll take one of everything.
His eyes just go wide.
Yeah, easy, Porky. And I want the hat too, and I want the monkey.
He says, man, he goes, Blinsky is so excited to have a customer. I haven't had any. But
I wonder why.
I can't leave. I can't part with the monkey, and I definitely can't part with the hat.
Jabba, why can't you part with the hat?
It's my brand. It's how everyone knows Blinsky is so fun and has such fun toys.
Which you may be wanting to change your brand because you haven't had much business, so maybe this is a good thing.
Well,
Fun toys.
I need to bring joy to the children of Alaki to keep the Dark Lord away and keep the Baron happy.
But you haven't been doing.
No, I haven't. My only customer's been the old carnival man.
So I take all the toys, 50 copper, you throw the hat on, I give you another 50 copper. You're looking at 1 silver today.
I say, who's the carnival man, Mr. Blinsky man? Trying to sound like a kid somewhat, but
He says, oh, there's the carnival man. He's been here for quite some time. He's who gave me the monkey? He's a very nice man. He's my friend. He's my only friend in Valaki. But he gave me the monkey. I don't feel like I can sell the monkey. He's really been my only customer. I can part with some of the toys, and he points to some of the smaller ones. He says, but he says those, and he points to the last 3, the merry-go-round, the ventriloquist dummy. And he says, those are 9. I like to 9-10 silver for each of those. Usually, 1 silver won't buy me food for a week.
Huh. You ain't kidding. Look at you.
he looks down again with that like smile that fades into a little bit of a frown, and then he looks back at him and puts his salesman smile on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picturing Krusty the Clown. Like, that's what I'm picturing. Like, I don't know.
Let me. I can show you a picture of him. I like showing the picture after we've talked about him for a little while. That way, I like to
that's
see
the best way to do
Cross
it.
with what you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is your mental image that I painted versus
Are these all going to be in the chat later so that when I have a computer, I can see what he looks like?
Well, you can always.
Yeah, actually-
you could rewatch the stream at any time.
yeah, or you could log into Roll20 whenever you get a chance and it'll be
Good,
shared
good,
with
good,
you.
Good.
That's
good.
kind of what I was picturing. Although the monkey looks kind of fucked up.
You still want it? You still want to spank that monkey?
No, I could care less about the monkey. I really want the hat, though. I feel like there's something going on with that.
Just
All right.
take it.
All right, no. See, that's what we don't do. We don't start fighting people and causing trouble.
I didn't
Is
say
that
fight him.
Kefka's brother?
Yeah, like his fat brother.
His brother who's not an asshole.
So I slammed the table. I go, all right, Zelensky, I want the price on everything, including your fucking hat.
Okay, yeah, I don't want it. Blinsky doesn't want trouble. You want all the toys and the hat.
I want one of each toy and your hat.
And the monkey.
50 silver.
All right, well, Sparkle, I have 1 gold. So
I handed you a couple.
you did. Would you hand me 2 gold? You said.
Yeah.
50 silver. You say so, lad. 50 silver.
50 silver. I appreciate you buying my whole stock, and it's still a bargain for you. The hat cost me half that.
It's a great bargain. 40 silver, and you got yourself a deal. I leave here, and I give you a nice pat on the back.
And if you will what will you do with these toys? Will you give them to the children of Alaki to spread joy?
Oh, we're gonna give them out at the festival, lad.
And do you know the Baron?
Do you know the Baron?
Oh, of course I know the Baron. He's commissioned me to make he commissions me to make certain decorations and adornments for his festivals. It's really my only livelihood now that no one's buying my toys.
Yeah, we're going to give these out to all the little kids at the festival.
And you'll put in a good word for me with the Baron if he asks. Of course.
If we happen to see the Baron, absolutely. We'll tell him we got these at Zelensky's.
Okay. So 45 silver sounds like a deal to me.
Throw in a pizza pie.
Sparkle, did I say 40?
He's switching between Italian and Swedish and whatever other fucking accent I come up with.
It's a me.
Throw in a pizza pie, yeah.
I reach
All
out
right.
and I just go, it's up to you, Dad.
All right, 45 silver, you got yourself a deal.
All right, go ahead and remove 45 silver, and
Got
then I'll clarify all this in our loot channel on Slack.
I removed 2 from my inventory.
Okay, cool, and I'll add 2 to mine.
Where did all your golds go, Matt?
I tried to fucking bargain for your life, and it didn't work.
I know, but like you gave it to her, and then she was
I had
still...
I had it in a like a pack, like a bag,
Yeah.
and I dropped it, and like money went everywhere, and that was like part of the distraction.
And did you save me? Oh, you did. Oh.
No,
You didn't.
we saved you 3
You didn't
times, then you died 3 times,
Oh.
and then she cracked her skull, so I couldn't really do much.
Oh, well, why didn't you come get your friend? Oh.
We tried with 2 potions.
No,
I
you
think
could have walked over and picked me up. You know what you did.
we went to, and then she cracked her skull. Like an egg. She cracked you open, and your brain dripped out like a yolk. I mean, there was not much we could do.
No.
Like
Really
you was
not much.
super dead.
At least he stopped talking.
Anyway,
So you got 6 Blinsky toys that you'll have in your inventory, and I'll describe what they are later, so you have them. And you have now Blinsky's hat, and you now notice that he's got horrible like male pattern balding. And
that's
that's
what
like
I wanted.
90% of the reason why he wears the hat.
1 in a million.
Yeah, and he does look like just removing that hat took him from big, jovial, happy-looking mascot of this toy store to just frumpy-looking man, old, goofy-looking guy. So
Is it a magical hat? Is it enchanted? Does it have abilities, skills, stats on it?
you are welcome to spend some time with it to try to identify it.
Does it
Or
smell? Is it smelly?
it does smell. It is dirty. It's got some holes and stuff in it. Not super pristine.
But it's stinky. Okay, all right, cool.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's
Funky.
stinky.
All right.
It's pretty funky. The Piccolo, the monkey, starts playing with the little bit of Blinsky's hair that he does have left, doing little spaghetti things with it. Seems completely like a little kid who just saw his dad without a beard for the first time, right? He's like enamored by this change in his master. Yep.
All right.
And Blinsky's now counting his coins, and he says, please come back if you want more toys. I'm going to start working on my next batch right now. The festival is in a few days, so there'll be hopefully plenty of customers then.
Blinsky, I bid you farewell with one of the farewell signs from my dwarven homeland. It's one of these.
Oh, thank you, and you too. Please come back to Blinsky's toy store anytime.
1 second to that. I was gonna say so. As I'm walking out, as he's counting his coins, I was gonna look at the monkey and say, I will do prestidigitation. Why can't I ever say that word? Of a monkey, or of a banana. Pull it out and just be like, to the monkey. Okay, so I got the banana in one hand and I go like this.
You do that?
Yeah, as long as Blinsky's looking down when he's cutting coins, I look at the monkey, I pull out a banana. And
Yep. So the monkey starts jumping up and down on Gadolf or Blinsky's shoulders, and he's making those like crazy monkey noises and stuff. And it distracts Blinsky enough that he looks up and he's like, settle down. And he kind of like smacks the monkey down, and the monkey crawls back around the other side, and he looks at you from the other side of his shoulder and gives you that like monkey hiss as you guys dip out of the store.
Nice.
I'm sorry, you said monkey sounds. What does that sound like exactly?
Thanks, Matt. I knew you'd get my, but you had my back on that. All right.
Off to the tavern, unless there's another quest we want to grab somewhere. I love this side quest shit. I love it. It's my favorite part.
I can't wait to get home and do a ritual and find out this stuff's worth like 3 copper.
But maybe it's like even shit. We're gonna find out.
Yes.
Yeah, as soon as you want to get cranking on that, you whatever you got to do for that ritual, you fucking start doing it.
When we get wherever we're staying, maybe I'll just like try to do it where it's quiet.
Yeah, we'll lay it out all on the floor, and then we'll.
Dig it. I dig it.
And if shit goes south, we could just accuse Zelensky of being a pedo. Totally.
It's true.
Could be.
I think they're all right with that here, though.
Yeah, I got a feeling that's cool around here.
Make a big deal.
Are
and
those
call
kids
them out
still
on
in
it,
the
and
stocks?
Everybody be like, "What's wrong with that?"
Yeah, and
That's what we do here.
We left him in the stocks. We did. All right, let's see. So you walk out. Ismark and Irina are standing there with Alaric, and they all kind of look at you and are like, what was in there?
all sorts of trinkets and tchotchkes and goodies.
Goodies.
Okay. Well, you guys got some food? You ate? You feel better now?
Well, no, we're going to the tavern to eat.
All right.
And I don't appreciate the attitude in your voice, Bismarck.
Oh. He looks at you kind of funny, and he's like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm just, we came here for safety, and it's just I haven't seen a whole lot of that yet. So,
Hey, you're the one that told us to come here.
I know. I'm
The only thing I've seen since we got here is a bunch of kids locked up in the middle of the square.
And as you say that, he says, I know. He says, I honestly was planning on leaving tonight.
Where the fuck do you think you're going, lad?
Leaving.
He says, I trust you. He looks at Spargle. He looks at he looks at Thornton. Yeah, he looks at all of you. Now that Blackwind's not around. He looks at all of you and he goes, I trust you all. I trust you.
Jesus.
I trust you enough
Dead for a day.
with Irina. I know you have her best interest. None of you have tried. Strahd has been in our face, and you didn't turn her over, even though it could have, kind of given you guys a break. You've risked your own life and limb and literally lost one of your closest traveling companions. On my behalf, I feel awful. He says, I cannot shake the feeling that I have to get back to my village. It's my responsibility to save those people and do what I can for the village of Barovia. But I'm not comfortable here yet. I don't know that Irina, I trust you all, but I don't know that this is the right place for her. So I'm with you for now, but I got to tell you, it's killing me. I got to get back there.
Hang on.
I don't even. Yeah, I know. What?
You brought us all the way to this hellhole, these fucking crazy people, and now you're gonna leave, and you're gonna leave her.
No,
You don't want to be here, but you're gonna leave your sister here.
No. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That was my plan, and I'm just telling you guys that now I'm not comfortable with my plan. I was hoping this was going to be a good, safe place, and you guys could all kind of hole up here, and I could go back. But it's just
a good idea to talk to the Burgermeister, or the more I look at this town, I'm not sure I want to meet the Burgermeister. What do you thinking? Are you wanting to? You kind of announced that at the gates, and that kind of got us in the door, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I was kind of hoping it would be a different situation here, and I still feel like I could have some clout, perhaps, and it seems like he's got some. Ismark looks confused now. He's like, it seems like he has good intentions, but I don't know, man. Those kids in the stocks, and it's just not feeling right. I don't know. It's up to you guys whether we talk to this Baron or not.
Well, it seems to me, Ismark, that that if it ain't safe in Barovia, this is all of Barovia, right?
Yeah, so this is like New York and New York City. Is what the way I think of it is like the whole region is called New York, and the village of Barovia is New York City. So this land is Barovia, and there was the village of Barovia. I've been referring to it as the village to make more sense, but that's where you guys started and met Irina and all that.
So if it ain't safe back there for Irina, and it ain't safe here, what are we gonna do? We either gotta make things right in Barovia, or we gotta make it right here. So
Yes, Mark. You keep hiding from shit in the world. Eventually, that shit comes and finds you.
When you say that, when you both say those two things, so when Deckard says that one thing, he starts hanging his head, and he almost like, you're right. And then Thoradin says that, and he looks up, and he goes very quietly, and just to the like 2 or 3 of you that are right around him, he goes, we have to kill Strahd. There's no escape. All of us are there is no escape in these lands. I thought if we left I thought his area of terror and influence was just our village. It's everywhere. I can feel it here already. Maybe we keep going. Maybe we go further west. Maybe we find another town. I just feel like we're going to keep running into it. Sooner or later, we're going to have to. I keep getting back to the same conclusion: is we have to somebody has to eliminate this tyrant from our lands. No one's going to be safe. There is no safety anywhere.
Hell yeah, brother. Either we do it or we die trying.
Do you know anything about this Krusk village or anything about this other village on the map?
I really don't. I know it's much. I know it's much further west. There's rumors of an abbey there. I don't know anything about it firsthand. It's all hearsay and word of mouth. But supposedly there's an abbey, a religious conclave of some sort that rumors are that Strahd fears them or that they have some sort of safety. But no one I know has ever been all that way. Or firsthand knows what's going on in the city there.
So I look at the companions after he says that about killing Strahd, and I'm like, the only way I got out of this the first time was by his will. I think the only time we get out of it this time is with doing what he says. But I have no idea how we could possibly do that. You saw, I mean, right now I feel like he's toying with us. He could have set that army of zombies on us, and we're playthings to him right now. How do we learn how to defeat him even?
I know. I don't know if we believe that what the fortune teller said, but it seems like her words, her premonitions. It maybe it's false hope. I don't know. Maybe some of the things she told us is a path, or maybe it's just more of Strahd's deceit. He seems like confused and deflated and just not really.
Yeah, he needs a Snickers. He needs a fucking Snickers.
He looks like Roseanne Barr all of a sudden.
I put my arm around him, and I hit his stomach a little bit. I'm like, Ismark, you need to eat, brother, and you need some ale. We need to get trashed.
Says,
Hang on. So Deckard, you see Deckard like just have this moment of revelation. He goes, wait a minute. That one of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
One of those cards had an entertaining man with a monkey on his shoulder.
Oh shit! Let me go back.
I don't remember that. What I was thinking of is the Sword of Sunlight. I don't know if it has anything to do with it. He says power and strength, Sword of Sunlight. I don't know if that has anything to do with the blazing sun.
Now hang on. What are the cards? Look
Is
for
this
an
under
entertaining
handouts?
man with a monkey. This man is more than he seems. That's what.
Are you
told
under
us.
handouts in Roll20?
Well, I took notes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to
I missed
Roll20.
the Oh, look for an entertaining man with a monkey. Holy shit. We just walked right past him.
It's all right. We bought all of his shit, right?
Not the thing that he hid.
Well, we have to fucking sneak in there at nighttime, and we gotta take it. And we gotta fucking take it is what we gotta do.
Hang on. So he hid something? I missed that. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had something particular for somebody else that he commissioned.
Isn't that
He
all
showed
said,
us-
though? Isn't that all
he
said? That
showed us-
It was for someone else. That was it.
He showed us all of the toys, and then he was about to show us that toy, and he's like, "Oh no, wait! This is a special toy that I made as a private commission for someone." And I tried to.
Is that how I said it, Matt? By the way.
No, that's not. That's how I heard it. That's not how
I'm
you
just
said
fucking
it.
with
That's
you.
and me and Sparkle were trying to like haggle with him, like show me this, like I'll give you this, I'll give you that. He wouldn't do it. So then we asked the monkey, and the fucking monkey wanted a banana, but we don't have fucking bananas. I don't know where the fuck you would get bananas around here. Okay, so we tried to give him like a piece of fucking jerky, and the little shit monkey didn't fucking want it, and he picked his fucking ass, and he got
Remember that?
and he combined it with the meat, and he just fucking, so that's where we left off. So I say we go to that fucking shop in the middle of the night, and like fucking church mice, we just
I love
fucking.
when Thoradin gets ghetto. It's like
That ain't
it's
ghetto.
like an Italian woman like
Yeah.
going into her Italian accent. Like
We
when he
just-
loses the Scottish accent and brings in the Long Island accent, that's when you go forward and
We
is
just
freaking
sneak in
mad.
there like church mice. Gotta be Sparkle because he's tiny, and definitely not a lark because he's too big and he'll knock over a fucking piece of glass or something.
I'm
Well,
agile, though,
fellas,
brother.
I happen to be quite
Yeah,
still
but you gotta creep.
myself.
Gotta creep right
As long
in.
as you can keep your mouth shut, right?
That's the plan. But I say we hit the books, we research this card, and we try and talk about it and see what we got to do. But that hidden toy is important, and these other toys might be important.
Well, how about what if he wants to help us?
Maybe he does. I got his fucking hat now, so I don't know. But that has to do with anything. But I got his hat.
Why don't we go back there? I'm gonna go back in there and talk to him. Anybody want to go back in there and talk to him? I mean, if we'd known, if we'd remembered this when we walked in there, it would have been a different conversation.
Well,
Did he see you before? I mean, you could go.
I was in there with you.
Stranger.
this is what I'm concerned about. If he knows that we're really jonesing for that and that we really want it, he might be super slick and he might like put it in a safe and he might really hide it. So
Right,
like
but what if he wants to help us use it? What if he just doesn't know we're on his side?
hey, lad, if you want to go in there and you want to make a deal with him, you go for it. But we need to know what that toy is.
I guess the point of what Deckard's saying though, maybe we don't want to make an enemy of him. I don't know. Maybe.
Right. He might
Listen.
be an ally.
And he doesn't know it yet. There's a very fine line you have to cross. I insulted his weight a few times. Maybe he didn't like that. But I paid him well.
He seemed to roll with the Jabba.
He
and
did. He did. He was cool with it.
Guarded by amber giants, sort of.
Where are you looking, Punch?
I took notes too, but they're very poor. I have power and strength, sword of sunlight.
I know I took a picture of those symbols, those
Treasures
cards.
hidden in small castle, guarded by amber giants. Look for an entertaining man with a monkey. The man is more than he seems. So I don't know how much I missed in that sentence or how much, whatever. But I wish we had this verbatim, but we don't.
Maybe someone just needs to fucking give him, like, waterboard him and just fucking... I say we send the fucking big guy in there and just waterboard the shit out of him.
I have the other ones I wrote is there's one don't have much. We really need to think hard on these. Go to great heights. Look for the beating heart of the castle. To me, that was the fourth one. To me, I thought that's at the end. Go to Ravenloft. Go up to the heights on that. You know what I mean? To me, I don't know if that means we're anything or not. Tells of a powerful force, a great symbol of magical force. Garden dusted with snow, guarded by something with a slack-toothed grin. Look to the guardian, not the garden. That was another one.
Was my mic not muted?
It was now. It's been muted. I haven't heard you say anything in a
good.
while.
Okay.
I heard you. I saw you talking to somebody. So
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to Hillary.
And then knowledge of the ancient helps you better understand your enemy. Woman hangs above a roaring fire. Find her and you will find treasure. Woman hangs above a roaring fire. I don't know.
That doesn't
Yeah.
have to do with the mill, does it? The
No,
windmill?
but all I know is that right now we are standing in front of what one of those cards prophesized for us. And I think we need to find out that this guy's more than he seems. We need to find out what that means.
Let's prod him. Prod him, baby.
You want to go back in there?
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth prodding first.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to
if
make an
we
enemy.
gotta use force later on, and then we go to the stealth mode and whatever. But
Yeah.
I agree
Deckard,
with that.
does he know? Does he know that you were in there in the building? Like,
I mean, I followed you guys in, but I didn't talk. I mean, I
He
can go
did not see, for the record, he did not see Alaric, Irina, or Ismark. They
back-
were.
You send in a lark?
Yeah, he's good with words.
I am. I'll
He-
talk.
he
You want
talked.
me to talk to him?
Yeah, he hasn't seen you yet.
So what's our game plan here? Are we
Like,
trying
what's
to
the end
haggle
game?
him?
Just no, not haggle him, but find out. Just learn more about him and find out. I don't know if you want to hover around the idea of Strahd and just see where he goes with it.
Okay.
Maybe we send Irina in there. Let her use her, beguile him with her,
boobs.
beauty and
And her boobs.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
couple titties.
Yeah.
you
I don't know,
those
man.
things.
Irina's freaking me out. I'm worried she's like carrying his baby or something.
No, she's carrying my baby. You shut your mouth.
I'm worried there's like a baby Strahd in our
She's gotta-
midst.
yeah.
What if she's carrying Blackwing's baby?
Oh,
We know that's not happening.
maybe that's Blackwind's next character. Start level 0 infant, half
I
Peruvian,
come out.
half
Any
elf.
different than the last character.
That
They're
would
like
be-
Blackwing,
Oh,
it's
I
your
thought you were
turn.
saying she's got a quarter orc in her.
Would just be the baby going, why'd you kill those rabid wolves?
They weren't fucking rabid.
I wanted
Oh,
to
they were
save
so
them.
Ah,
Okay.
fuck any raven that I see.
It was a crow.
It was a
I didn't think I
messenger.
was gonna. I didn't think I was
don't know
gonna
how
kill
we
it with
find
one
either, but
crossbow.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I do. I think that there's a good chance he's dead, but that Nathaniel Swift did tell us to meet him here. That's another lead that we haven't followed up. He sought us out and he said, look for us in Valaki." The
Who? Was this
Nathan-
one?
how is it? No one remembers this. Every time I
Was
bring
this
it up.
before my?
Keepers of the Feather.
Is that the
I
guy
am
that wrote the
Nathaniel
Crucible?
Swift. Here's my notes. Yeah, I am Nathaniel Swift. Visit us in the town of Valaki. The Keepers of the Feather. Strahd approaches.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we got to follow up on that.
yeah, you do. Hey Dan, do you know exactly where the Revenant is? By the way.
Yes. I mean, I know how much time has elapsed since you've seen the Revenant, and I can
And how far-
calculate.
okay.
Yeah.
You can
Where he is.
triangulate.
Uh-huh.
I got to see that guy one more time.
I just
We
really want him
literally
to be our
fought him,
Deus Ex Machina. Like I want him to be. We're all about to killed by Strahd,
and
and
he
then
shows up, and he's like,
Lump
"Hey."
He goes in and he's like, "Hey guys, you made it!" And he decapitates Strahd.
just one shot Strahd.
But do you remember we fought him, and he was like not dying, and then we were like, "All right, keep going," and then he was like, "All right."
You guys had some amazing roles in talk because you were literally mid-fight with him and somehow managed
We
to
got out
talk
of
him
it.
back down. You were like, "I'm with Strahd," and then he was like, "I'm gonna kill you," and then you're like, "No, I'm against Strahd." And he's like,
yeah.
"All right," and he just kept walking. I mean, it was like,
Whose idea was it to say we were with Strahd? I don't remember.
I think
It
mine.
was I told Adam.
you know
to
who
do
it was. That's why you asked it that way.
No, I Adam said it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, no, we totally serve the Dark Lord."
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
I was
that's
the
right.
one
I
that
forgot
said
that.
it because I was like, okay,
Yeah, you said
it was
it.
right when we first got there, and I was like,
Yeah,
let's play
right.
to the.
You're like, there's a Death Knight
I
who
gotta
like
go back.
looks like he just came out of hell.
Right.
Is he with the
Strahd's
good
friend.
guys or with Strahd?
Yeah, he's Strahd's
Yeah,
friend.
of
Let's
course
tell
we're
him
with
we're
the bad
Strahd's
guys.
friend.
Did I get like a sick persuasion roll to get him to disengage with us? How did we get him to
I
stop?
think you did. I think it was something.
It was like a 19 or something that I rolled.
Yeah, I
and
was
it
gonna
like,
say it had to be
alright.
20 or over to
Yeah. Plus
And then he
my
died,
modifier.
so-
All right, so let's all right, here we are. So it's 10 after 11. I'm good to go. I could go a little while longer if you guys want to play something out here. You're standing literally on the front step of this toy maker shop. You had bought these toys and you were starting to walk back towards the center of town looking for this tavern when Deckert's like, "Oh shit, guys, that gypsy lady said something about blah blah blah," what he just said. And so you all have kind of like just looked at each other like, "Oh." So we can carry on for another little bit if you want to play something out. We can like pause it here and you guys could fireside chat on like the front step of this toy maker thing. Yeah, and I say if we play it out, you can stay here and do something. You can go back. You can go forward towards the tavern, whatever you guys want.
I don't have
I
to
know
get up
we
early
never-
for work, so I could.
I know we never do it. We say we're going to, but we don't. But like this would be a good thing to fireside chat strategize on. Like
Yeah.
sending Alaric in and like what do we want to say? What do we want to try and figure out from this guy?
Plus, it'll give us time to like look back at our notes and really kind of see if we can, like paint the picture of what's really going on.
I'm so
Yeah,
happy I went
maybe
back to
say,
my
like,
notes.
A little
I'm
prayer
glad
for
you-
Blackwing. I don't know.
I
So
thought
am I.
entertaining and monkey, but
Dan was about to have another one of those moments like how the did you
I
guys-
already had like 4 aneurysms this session, so thank you for saving me from a 5th one.
I had pictures of those cards. Oh, here they are, right on my desktop. I can share this
I
image
know.
with you guys.
I just wish we had the actual text. Dan, there's none of us that are that like would have like our characters have sharper intellect than we do that we would.
I mean, you guys can always go back and watch the old sessions in the recaps. In
I
the
posted the picture, guys, in D&D.
There you
and a couple of the
That's a good
recaps, I did recite Madam Eva's whole dissertation that the whole reading I kind of read verbatim back to you guys.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, if you can. But I mean, I heard your guys' notes. I think you covered the main stuff. I mean, as a card reading is, things are vague and interpretive. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I can't take any of it as gospel. So I like that idea. Let's just say you guys have walked back out. The three of you walked back out. You're standing there. Ismark and Irina were like, "What went on in there?" Suddenly, Thoradin's wearing a jester hat for whatever reason. You guys got a bag of toys, these macabre toys, and let's just say that's where you're at. If you guys fireside chat, I'll chime in with Ismark and Irina stuff too, and we can even like play things out in terms of some actual material like content and discussion.
Yeah.
But then when we pick up the next session in terms of time elapsed, it'll only be that like 5 or 10 minutes that you guys were
Yep.
talking, and then we'll pick right back up on the front step of this toy store. If you guys decide through fireside chat to head back in and do something cool, if you go back to the square and want to do something cool, if you want to move forward, that's fine too, whatever. But this is where we'll pick back up.
Cool.
Dig it.
All right. That's good. I mean, this is like this of so far in the whole session or the whole campaign. I have no idea where you guys are going, what's going to happen next. This is very sort of this city and everything beyond this is totally up to you guys how it's going to unfold.
Well, I like Ismark. I feel like there was a turn here in the story where it's like, all right, because one thing that we've lost sight of in a way as a group is how do we like I'm assuming our main goal is to get the F out of this place. So like,
Right? Like we accidentally came here,
right, like
right?
ultimately we have to remember that our main, at least for Deckard, my main goal is to get the hell out of here. Like, I'm not, maybe won't share it with Ismark or Irina, but like, if I'm presented with the opportunity to get out of here, I might stay and help because Deckard's a good dude for the most part. But like, I don't know, would getting out of here trump making sure Irina doesn't have to, I don't know, get sacrificed by Strahd, whatever she is for?
Didn't she get bitten by Strahd or bitten by a vampire?
I think she did. I think when we found her,
Because I'm looking at that letter from the Burgomaster, and it says that she was bitten by a vampire.
yeah, I think she was. I think she. Yes, I.
So
agree.
doesn't she become a vampire soon?
I don't know about that, but I thought there was some.
Oh, that's what happened in Blade.
She's a hybrid.
The Burgomaster of Barovia, send you honors, just whatever. My adopted daughter, I didn't know she was adopted either. Adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these last nights bitten by a vampire.
It's Strahd's daughter.
Mm-mm.
Why would he bite his own daughter?
No.
She
He was bitten
languishes
by-
from an
there's more
unholy
vampires than one.
wound.
Can we
So
just talk
yes.
about the Twilight thing we have going on here? I'm a wolf. Strahd's like a vampire. Got
Oh,
Irina.
Can we
middle.
Hearthstone back to Ironforge? Can we just get out of here?
Just get the fuck out of here.
Edward got her in the end.
Can we just go kill wolves and like sack a cave or something and just fucking get treasure and just call it a night?
Wow. Killing wolves again.
Or even skeletons, but like I don't know.
Yeah, remember when our biggest worry was Glassstaff?
Yeah, that jerk.
Hey,
That
can we
jerk.
talk about the fact that it's Spargle that got us into this effing mess? And his stupid head holding it up to the
That's-
moon.
That's right.
Did you guys ever ask
Ooh.
him about that? Like, why did you do that?
Details.
So let's talk about Spargle for a minute. Let's talk about Spargle's intentions here. Tricks us into coming to Barovia to stay with this friend that we haven't even seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Burns children alive.
Oh boy.
Let's
Um,
Blackwind die on purpose.
On
So-
purpose.
Dude,
For the
nobody-
record, he turned invisible, ran into that windmill, administered a healing potion to you.
Yeah. You got up
It's
and then you just
all
died
look-
again.
It's all how it looks. I didn't even get to move out of my square.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Just
You know,
standing
if
there.
we're thinking about that kind of stuff, maybe we should be a little concerned with the werewolf in our midst.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about that?
I'm a werewolf because of you, because you brought me to this freaking horror show.
All right,
I
take
don't
it to
know.
Fireside
Maybe-
Boys. This is
I don't know how long
golden.
you've been a werewolf. Maybe
Now we're just
maybe
arguing on the
it's
front stoop of Zelensky.
maybe it isn't how it appears. Maybe there's more to it.
Yeah, our luck, this guy's gonna turn into a fucking werewolf right in the middle of the fucking festival. Right next to all of us, and we're all gonna be like, I don't know that guy.
First time I ever saw that happen.
I don't know who that
Let's
is.
kill him.
Not my
I
fault.
held up.
Give me a
that
tomato.
hand,
Fuck this guy.
But behind me, Deckard was pushing some little button that got us
Yeah.
on there.
He had
There was some kind of
explosives.
little button that you were pushing it.
Fucking guy.
I wonder if Irina at any point is like, maybe I should just go fucking be Strahd's fucking girlfriend. I'll get a room
Hey.
for Ismark.
Man, there's
Bismarck.
so many notes that we have just totally ignored.
Well, feel free to post stuff.
And I'm not gonna. This isn't a spoiler or anything, but I'm gonna tell you guys just as a note that the depth of this campaign is I can't even keep up with it, and I have all the Cliff's notes, and I mean there is so many interrelated things that you don't worry about missing shit because it's just you're gonna hit maybe 20% of what's actually here as in terms of content. But on that same note, don't take anything for granted. Anything could be a clue, but anything could also be a fucking nothing too. That's the other thing. There's tons of like just flavor. I'm not talking about this campaign. Just in D&D is like just because
Theoretically,
there's
could we stay in the campaign though, Dan? Like, could you, if we finish, even if we don't kill Strahd or we do kill Strahd, and then we're like, let's go back to this village and like there's shit going on. Like, couldn't we just stay in there like it's Morrowind,
Totally.
where it's
yeah. A
Okay.
lot of people do that. A lot of people
I just-
like
okay,
derail.
they
Like,
just
I've
stay.
heard of so many people that like start. There's a campaign at work. Some of our friends at work, Adam and Will probably know some of the guys just from stuff we've done. But they started with Mines of Phandelver and derailed like after like session 3, and they're on like 50 sessions of a total custom random campaign of just shit that's just happened.
but it's still in that
It's
zone,
still in that
basically.
original like
That's
world,
so
that
cool.
world instance. Yep.
That's so okay. So it is. It's like it's just it's an instance. It's living and breathing.
Right.
Like it could go anywhere.
Very cool.
Like we could next session stumble on a way to get out of Barovia and then
Oh,
be
later.
you leave
in the
without
Sword
going?
Coast and be like, all right, let's go to Waterdeep. And
Yeah, suddenly there's frost giants trying to steal a nightstone from whatever, you know.
Oh, I just want to hang out in the halls of justice. Leave me alone.
Right. Just get. Can I get a break? Gauntled Grim.
Can I go back to Ironforge and just do laps and listen to trade chat for a few hours?
That's way easier than putting.
Want to sell one doll with stitched eyes and mouth? 15 copper.
Why did I buy those? Why did I do that?
Ah, you got a whole stack of creepy like Nightmare Before Christmas shit going on now.
Oh my god, I'm gonna burn them all.
All right. I'm
yeah,
going to bed.
he seemed to be. Yeah, he
Right.
Guess
did.
I'll see you.
Good night. Sweet dreams, boys.
All right,
See
you
you
know
later,
what? I'm
Crocus.
gonna end the stream now, just so you guys know, because I know we'll just keep running.
All right.
Thanks,
Good night,
for
everyone.
watching.